In the field of cybersecurity, the 2024 ransomware apocalypse is a storm that is rapidly approaching. Consider this as a digital Armageddon, where ransomware assaults might become extremely destructive, impacting not only individuals, but also entire governments, economies, and businesses. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Ransomware attacks are becoming more of a problem. Notably, these vulnerabilities are being used as vectors to deliver ransomware, with a particular emphasis on networking devices. This makes a significant shift from the previous focus on managed file transfer software. It's hard to deal with zero-day flaws in the world of cybersecurity. The people and software makers don't know about these until they are used, but businesses can still take steps to lower the risk that comes with these kinds of flaws. Making sure the tools and products used are always up to date is an important part of this. Before we go on, here's an interesting thought. Attackers of ransomware often choose to target businesses with a lot of money. And why is that? Well, attackers of ransomware often target wealthy businesses because of strategic considerations. These companies will pay large amounts of money if threatened. Not only that, they possess valuable data and are sensitive to data exposure threats. But also, let's talk about how ransomware attacks affect not only businesses with money, but even more important sectors like healthcare. Attacks on manufacturing were more common in the first part of the year, but recent trends show that attacks on healthcare are now becoming more common. Healthcare is now one of the 5 industries that ransomware groups attack the most, with almost a quarter of all attacks happening in this sector. Attackers aren't just after money, they also want to get their hands on protected health information, PHI, and other private information that healthcare providers and institutions have access to. This is an interesting fact. The US had more ransomware strikes in the third quarter of 2023 than the next 10 countries put together. But why is the US such a popular target? 2 key factors play a role. 1. High digitalization. The U.S. extensive digital infrastructure provides numerous entry points for cyber attacks. 2nd, geopolitical factors. Ransomware attacks often have political motives. The U.S. global influence makes it a prime target for hacktivist groups. The United Kingdom, Italy, and Germany also rank high in ransomware attacks due to their strong economies and digital landscapes. Most of these attacks are caused by ransomware groups. One of the biggest ransomware groups that target these countries is Lockbit. Lockbit is a subclass of ransomware known as cryptovirus due to forming its ransom requests around financial payment in exchange for decryption. Even though Lockbit is still a big threat, new players are quickly making a name for themselves. These new groups include Cactus, INC Ransom, Meta Encryptor, 3AM, Night Ransomware, Cyclop Group, and Medusa Locker. These groups are still strong risks, even though they aren't as well known or present around the world as big players like Lockbit. To stay ahead in the fight against viruses, you need to know how these groups work and why they do what they do. Newer types of ransomware are using computer languages like Rust and Golang more and more. This is a big deal in the world of ransomware. These languages make it harder to figure out what the ransomware is doing on a victim's computer. They can also be changed to target more than one operating system, which makes the ransomware more dangerous and gives it more targets. Also, we want to know your thoughts on this critical issue. Please feel free to share your opinions or any experience you've had with ransomware in the comments section below. Your insights might help others in our community better understand and navigate the evolving landscape of cybersecurity. So don't hesitate, share your thoughts with us in the comments. After learning about the complicated world of ransomware risk, it's important to know how businesses are reacting to these changes. This part is about the proactive steps that businesses are taking to stop, lessen, and recover from ransomware attacks. Focus on training employees. The people who work for a company are often the first line of defense against any threat, and ransomware is no different. It's because of this that companies have stepped up their cybersecurity training and awareness programs, making cybersecurity training sessions necessary and encouraging everyone to be more aware of cyber issues. People in these classes learn to spot phishing attempts, deal with suspicious attachments, and spot social engineering attempts. Even though people try to stop them, ransomware attacks can still happen for some reason. Because of this, organizations have put more effort into coming up with a complete reaction to these kinds of incidents. These include legal procedures for telling the authorities, next steps for internal security, responses from the information security team, and putting any systems or goods that are affected in quarantine. In addition to prevention, companies also need to have a solid plan in place for how to respond to a cybersecurity incident. These include establishing an incident response team, outlining rules and responsibilities, and creating a step-by-step protocol to follow in the event of a breach or an attack. The goal is to minimize damage contain the threat, and restore normal operations as quickly as possible. A well-prepared and coordinated response can make all the difference in mitigating the impact of a cybersecurity incident. Ransomware attacks have two main goals: to get to private data and encrypt it so that the organization they target can't use it. To deal with this risk, businesses are now putting more effort into backing up private data and making sure there are complete ways to get it back. In the fight against ransomware, we'll talk about how important it is to have a strong backup and restore plan. One way organizations have improved their response to ransomware attacks is by implementing better backup and recovery systems. By regularly backing up important data and storing it securely offline, organizations can ensure that they have a recent and clean copy of their data to restore in the event of an attack. Additionally, organizations have also focused on improving their recovery processes, developing step-by-step procedures to quickly restore systems and minimize downtime. These measures help organizations mitigate the impact of ransomware attacks and reduce potential financial losses. Ransomware groups have used initial access brokers, hacking attacks, and other methods to take advantage of people to launch or improve ransomware attacks in the past. Because of this, companies have put in place zero-trust architecture and multi-factor authentication, MFA, on all of their important data and platforms, making multiple levels of confirmed authentication necessary to access private information. We are going to talk about how these security steps are changing the way we fight ransomware. For example, a company may implement a zero-trust architecture and multi-factor authentication to protect their private data from ransomware attacks. In this scenario, employees are required to authenticate their identity through multiple factors, such as passwords, biometrics, and security tokens before gaining access to sensitive information. Additionally, the company adopts a zero-trust approach where all network traffic is closely monitored and verified, ensuring that only authorized individuals can access and modify data. These measures significantly reduce the risk of ransomware attacks and provides organizations with greater security. Companies in the same industry establish information sharing and analysis centers, ISACs, to assist them in sharing their resources and information to thwart future ransomware attacks. They also work closely with law enforcement and government agencies to report ransomware efforts and help find holes in security. Working together is becoming an important part of protecting against viruses. One of the key ways that security steps are changing the way we fight ransomware is through intelligence sharing and collaboration with law enforcement. In the past, organizations have been hesitant to involve law enforcement due to concerns about reputation and potential negative publicity. However, with the increasing sophistication and frequency of ransomware attacks, companies are realizing the importance of partnering with law enforcement agencies to combat this threat effectively. Companies are using threat intelligence platforms more and more to get real-time threat intelligence to help stop ransomware attacks. This is because these platforms are experts in this field and have advanced AI and machine learning capabilities that help them find anomalies and analyze behavior. These tools give us a huge edge in the ongoing war against ransomware. Threat intelligence platforms are increasingly being adopted by organizations to gather and analyze data about potential cyber threats. These platforms help in identifying patterns and trends, enabling proactive measures to be taken against ransomware attacks. For example, a financial institution may use a threat intelligence platform to gather information about new ransomware variants targeting the banking sector, allowing them to strengthen its defenses and share this information with other organizations through ISACs. Major events like the recent MOVEit and papercut vulnerabilities that let hackers use them to do bad things have brought vulnerabilities to the public's attention. As a result, companies have put in place vulnerability management and processes to make sure that all important software is always up to date and gets patched up regularly. Vulnerabilities can serve as entry points for ransomware attacks, making it essential to regularly update and patch software, as well as conduct thorough vulnerability assessments. By proactively identifying and addressing vulnerabilities, organizations can significantly reduce their risk of falling victim to ransomware attacks. Furthermore, implementing strong access controls and network segmentation can limit the potential impact of an attack and prevent the lateral movement of ransomware within a network. If the person who created ransomware can't get into the company, they may go after its supply chain through partners, suppliers, and other third parties who may not be as safe online. Therefore, companies have started doing vendor risk reviews to make sure that their whole supply chain is completely safe from any possible ransomware attacks. Many organizations rely on third-party vendors for various software and services, and any vulnerabilities in these vendor products can pose a significant risk. Therefore, implementing a robust vendor risk management program becomes crucial. This involves thoroughly assessing the security practices and track record of potential vendors before engaging in any business relationship. Additionally, ongoing monitoring and regular audits are necessary to ensure that vendors maintain a high level of security and promptly address any vulnerabilities that may arise. By effectively managing vendor risk, organizations can greatly minimize the chances of introducing vulnerabilities into their systems through external sources. After looking at the different ways that organizations are responding to ransomware threats, it's clear they are doing a lot to keep themselves safe from these changing online threats. As this in-depth look comes to a close, it's important to keep in mind that ransomware is always changing. To stay one step ahead of ransomware operators, you need to stay aware and take action. If you thought this was helpful, please click the like button and let us know what you think in the comments. If you want to know what's new in the world of cybersecurity, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, since we are talking about staying ahead, our next video will go into great detail about how to secure your data in ChatGPT. Keep yourself safe and up to date until then. Thank you for watching.